So I was at the park the other day, and you know how kids are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was this little one trying to fly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was flapping his arms like crazy.
Like a bird?
Exactly, like he thought he could take off.
That's so cute.
It really is, and it kind of reminded me of why we're all here.
To understand these amazing little beings.
Yeah, to figure out how their minds work and how to be the best parents we can be as they grow.
It's quite the journey, isn't it?
It really is. And that's what we're diving into today. How our parenting needs to change and adapt as they go from those first steps.
All the way to those teenage years.
To the teenage years when those steps can feel more like stomps.
That's one way to put it. But it's so important to remember that kids aren't just mini adults.
Right, they don't just think smaller versions of our thoughts.
Exactly. Their brains are literally still developing. Their emotional and cognitive abilities are constantly evolving.
So that's why reasoning with a toddler is like,
Talking to a brick wall sometimes.
pretty much. It's like my words just disappear into thin air.
And that's where this idea of meeting the child where they are comes in.
Meeting them where they are.
Tailoring our communication to their developmental stage, because a 5-year-old processes information so differently from a 15-year-old.
Okay, so let's get practical. Imagine I'm dealing with a toddler meltdown.
Oh, those can be tough.
The tears, the screams, all because I cut their sandwich wrong.
It happens to the best of us.
What do I even say in that moment?
Well, first, remember, toddlers don't have a huge emotional vocabulary.
They just know they're upset.
Right. So instead of just saying you're angry, try giving them the words, are you frustrated because you wanted it cut differently?
So I'm like their emotional translator.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because their thinking is still very concrete, using visuals can be super helpful.
Like showing them how the same sandwich can be triangles or squares.
Exactly. It's all about making those abstract concepts more tangible.
Okay, I'm already feeling better equipped for those toddler tornadoes. But what about when they hit school age?
Ah, yes. The school years. That's when parental involvement takes on a whole new meaning.
And it's more than just homework help.
Right. So much more. Studies show that kids with involved parents tend to have higher self-esteem and do better academically.
But there's a fine line between being involved and being a helicopter parent.
Absolutely. And finding that balance can be tricky.
So how do we stay engaged without hovering?
Asking open-ended questions is a great start.
Instead of the dreaded, how was your day?
Exactly. Try something like, what was the most interesting thing you learned today? Or what made you laugh at recess?
That's way more likely to get me a real answer than just fine.
You're sparking a conversation instead of just demanding a report.
I like it. But then comes the teen years.
Ah, yes, the teenage years.
And suddenly all that open communication we've worked so hard for,
Seems to vanish.
it's like they built a wall overnight.
Well, their brains are going through some major renovations during adolescence, especially the prefrontal cortex,
Prefrontal cortex.
the part responsible for decision-making, impulse control, all that good stuff.
So that explains the occasional impulsive or irrational behavior.
Plus, there are the hormonal surges, which definitely add to the mix.
Okay, so how do we as parents navigate this new terrain?
It's about shifting from a telling mode to a guiding mode.
Guiding instead of dictating.
Exactly. Instead of, you have to wear this, try. It's cold out. Would you prefer the blue jacket or the red one?
Giving them choices within boundaries.
Exactly. You're acknowledging their need for autonomy while still setting limits.
It's like a whole new language.
And remember, even when they seem distant, teens still need our love and support.
Sometimes just being there for them speaks volumes.
It really does.
Wow, this deep dive has been eye-opening. Feels like I have a roadmap for the different stages of childhood.
That's great to hear.
But I think the biggest takeaway for me is this concept of supportive parenting.
Supportive parenting is the foundation that stays constant throughout all these changes.
So what does that actually look like?
It's providing unconditional love, acceptance, and security. It's celebrating their wins, offering guidance during their struggles, and creating a safe space for them to grow.
It sounds like a beautiful but challenging journey.
It is, but it's the most rewarding one you'll ever take.
And for everyone listening, I want to leave you with this thought. How have your own childhood experiences shaped the parent you are today?
It's amazing how those early years can influence our parenting style.
Food for thought as we wrap up this deep dive into the fascinating world of child development. Thanks for joining us.
It was my pleasure.